Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Otaku Tuesday 2.0, where I do a new discussion every week, so leave me your questions or topics that you would like to see me discuss in the comment section below, and if I don't get around to doing them in a video, don't feel bad, because I actually take them, I put them in a notepad, and I save them for a later date whenever I want to do a conversation or a discussion video about any of that stuff, so they're not gone to waste, so don't feel bad. Leave me your questions in the comment section below. Anyways, this week we're talking about embarrassment with being an otaku. Now, I had a question that I'd asked if I'd ever been embarrassed to be an otaku or to be an anime fan, or if I had any funny stories related to that, and personally I feel that if you're ever in public with people and you're a big anime fan, I don't really see the big deal with that, because honestly, anime is no different than movies or TV shows. They're just stories conveyed in a different method. Just like with manga, they're really no different than graphic novels or comic books or anything, so I really don't see the point of having this big divide. But there are plenty of times out there where I know lots of circumstances where the worst examples of anime are usually going to be the most popular ones, like, say for example, with a lot of fan service out there and hentai. These are pretty prominent examples of anime, but they don't really define it, and some people may confuse these things, and also Japan has this very strange culture about it. I mean, not necessarily strange, it's very different, but we all know that they do a lot of strange things over there, and a lot of people here, they don't really understand it, they don't get it, and they don't really want to hear about it sometimes, so it can make conversations very difficult with some people. From my personal experience, you're going to have people that are either going to look down on you at first as soon as they hear you talk about anime just because it's some sort of Japanese thing they don't understand, or these Chinese cartoons, or you're going to have people that are open-minded and maybe they don't watch anime, but they'll listen to you talk about it a little bit, as long as you're participating equally in the conversations with them and don't just talk about anime the whole time. They're going to get along with you and let you talk about it and actually have a conversation about it, and most of the time, that's actually what I deal with right there, because I'm very choosy about the people that I talk to and hang around mostly, so I feel that this is something that really isn't an issue as long as you're very skeptical and you have some sort of system of weeding out undesirables from your life. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you should cut anybody out of your life if they don't like anime, or not talk to anybody for not liking anime. I'm saying that there are people in this world who will want to keep this closed-off mind and stay within this bubble that they've trapped themselves in and not learn about anything new. And then you have people, on the other hand, who are open-minded and like to learn new things and talk about different things. Those are the people that I like to keep around, and those are the people that I enjoy their company. And personally, this also applies to anime. If you're a person who only wants to experience anime and only wants to have that sort of life, then it really makes it hard for you to talk to other people, because we don't live in Japan. We don't have that life over here where you can only watch anime and still have this great social life. Plus, that's not a good way to live anyways. There are plenty of great things to experience in life that are outside of anime, but having said that, it's always good to keep an open mind and try new things. So it's good to be with those type of people, and those are the type of people that are going to be more open-minded about anime, so with those type of people, there's really nothing to be ashamed about. Personally, my situation with this is a bit more complicated because of YouTube, and I'm not always as forthright with people about it just because there's always complications, even just about YouTube itself. When you talk to people about it, they're like, well, why don't you just get a real job or something? First of all, I have one. Secondly, there's a lot of people that are just jealous about the fact that they think it's so easy, and I feel almost insulted by the fact that whenever some people ask me about it and they talk about it, oh, I have a little 5-year-old kid, he could get into YouTube and he could start making money or something off it. I'm just like, it's not that easy, it's not that simple. How many years did it take me, and I'm still just scraping away here? But it's not what people think it is, and then it's not as easy. You gotta actually put effort in it. You're not just gonna turn on a camera and people are gonna flock to come and see you. You have to make yourself presentable. You have to market yourself in a way that people would enjoy to watch you. And hopefully I've done that correctly. I have a lot of people out there that enjoy watching me, but it's not gonna work the same for everybody. So there's a whole big issue with that, and then on top of that, there's the whole anime level with that I review anime, so I don't always tell people that I review anime online. It's not out of an embarrassment thing, but then again, there are certain times, like if I'm talking to my boss at work, this is a pretty sticky situation for me, because he'll ask me what I do, and then I tell him that, you know, I make YouTube videos, film critic, that's a general term that I use for it when I'm talking to people when I don't want to get into the finer details. And then he's a great guy, don't get me wrong, he's probably one of the best bosses I've had, and I'm sure some people from work are probably watching this because it's getting around that I'm making videos, but I didn't really tell him about it, and then I know that he knows that other people there know about the videos and watch them, so hope that he didn't feel offended by this. And then one time he's talking to me about it, I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to talk about it. And he was asking me what projects I'm working on, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to tell him, because he's a great guy, he's a really cool dude to talk to. I just told him about the Satoshi Kon week that I was working on at the time, where I was reviewing all of the different Satoshi Kon films. They were psychological mysteries and dramas and stuff, things that are really suitable for adults, something that he might actually like. And then he responded with, yeah, Japan, you know, they have the sex dolls and all this sort of stuff going on about that. And I was just like, this is why I don't talk about it, because not everybody understands it. And it's not a flaw with him personally, it's just that people don't really understand this sort of thing, because it's basically a foreign medium of entertainment, and not everyone over here is familiar with it, so it's going to seem weird to some people, and that's just the way that it is. And another pretty funny situation was, I was eating in Chick-fil-A, sometimes I go there on my lunch break at work, and sometimes I have like a random volume of manga or a book in my car, and sometimes I'll eat in my car and read, and sometimes I'll go inside wherever I'm at, and I'll read while I eat inside. So here I am, reading a volume of Rosario Vampire inside of Chick-fil-A, and we all know how Rosario Vampire is on the fan service, and I know the anime and the manga is a lot different as far as actually how serious the story is, but there's still a lot of fan service in that manga. So I'm going through, and I remember specifically, if you're a fan of Rosario Vampire, then you know what I'm talking about, the part with all of the characters' moms coming and seeing Skune, and they're total MILFs, and there's one that's like shoving Skune's head right in her cleavage there, and I remember specifically there was this guy that was sweeping up trash behind me. I heard him sweeping, and then I heard him stop as I was going through these pages, and it was a few minutes. I'm like, it feels like there's somebody still standing back there, but I know that guy stopped sweeping, so he probably left. What's going on here? I look back, and it's that guy with the broom looking over my shoulder reading it. It was this teenager guy, but he had the weirdest look on his face, like, what's going on here? What is this guy reading? It was pretty funny. I just looked back at him, gave him this weird look, and I just kept reading. I don't really care. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with reading manga out in the open like that. Now, a few other situations that I have with anime fans, and I don't really go to conventions like that just because I have this clunky car and it's not in any good shape, and all of the conventions are at least 2, 3, 4 hours away from me. I can't make it in the car that I'm in, so I just never go to any, and also I'd have to get off time from work, but you know, I just never go to any, so the only anime fans that I ever see around are just people in random stores. Maybe they have an Attack on Titan shirt or hoodie or some sort of anime-related shirt or something. I'll go up to them and I'll say, hey, that's an awesome shirt, that's an awesome jacket, and I'll pretty much just leave it at that. And maybe they're not really used to getting compliments and things like that, but they're usually a bit held back and just say, okay, or thanks, and just continue going on, and don't really want to say anything about it. And I feel that a lot of times that's the case with anime fans, with a lot of the ones that I met, especially, like there was one at work, and I know that she was an anime fan, and I know that she was within an ear's range of my conversation with somebody else who is also an anime fan. We're talking about anime, and I see that she's kind of like eavesdropping in on, I'm like, hey, so, do you like anime? And she's like, well, yeah, I like anime. And you see, it's really hard to get people into conversing about it in the open, I feel. This is just my experience down here in Virginia. There's not too many anime fans. I guess some people are, because I do get a decent amount of views from Virginia, but my area in general, not many at all. And something you may not have thought about is when you're keeping something back from someone like that, like say for example, you have a friend and you don't talk about anime to them just because you know that they may not like it or may not understand it. Think about that from their perspective. If you're really that good of friends with them, like if you have a friend with somebody that you're a good friend with, but they're holding back something from you and it's obvious, and it's obvious that you can tell that they know you're gonna be, they're gonna be embarrassed about it, or you're not gonna like it or gonna understand it. it's not a good feeling, right? Because you're good friends, or maybe your family or something, and it's kind of insulting to the person that you don't trust them enough to open up with certain things like your hobbies. And anime is just a hobby. It's not like you're talking about porn or something. It's just anime. It's not a big deal, even though I guess some people out there recommend Boku no Pico so much that eventually it'll get popular enough that when you say, oh, I like anime, oh, that's that Boku no Pico, right? That Chinese cartoon. Please stop talking about Boku no Pico, guys. Don't watch it. Don't talk about it. It doesn't need any more popularity. So anyways, let me know your thoughts about this topic in the comment section below. Have you ever had any times where you were embarrassed to talk about the things that you like, or do you know anybody that is? Let me know about that in the comment section below, and also ask me your questions for a future Otaku Tuesday. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all your support with your likes and comments, and just in case you missed a few videos, recently I uploaded my Death Note anime review, and also my top 5 anime OVAs. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.